It's your boy JK. Today is Thursday, so you already know what it is. It's Tackle Thursday. Live with JK, man. And today, though, it's not just me. I got a special guest, my boy Kenneth Gilstrap, man. I'm going to bring him in just a minute. But if you're new to Tackle Thursday, what Tackle Thursday is, every single Thursday, I'm on live, man, tackling different topics, different ideas, concepts, right? I used to play football, as you see behind me, right? Play for MTSU. And so as a DB, I'm used to tackling people, right? Having to tackle people. I caught picks, but, did a lot of tackling as well. And so even though I'm not playing, football anymore, now I'm tackling things in life, right? Different things in my different roles in life. And so every Thursday I'm on live tackling different topics and different ideas and concepts. So today, I thought it was perfect timing to tackle the topic, right? Getting recruited in a pandemic, right? Yesterday began the early signing period for college football across the nation, right? It used to only be a junior college, players from junior college signing during this time, but now I think about 2018 they allow all the colleges, right, in the nation. So this is the early signing period, and so I thought it would be perfect to discuss that. So many athletes out there that want to be recruited, football, but just other sports as well, man. But I don't consider myself an expert, so I decided to bring in someone that I know is a college coach, Division I college coach right now, and that's recruiting and having to recruit high school athletes during a pandemic, man. So with that being said, man, I'm gonna go ahead and bring my boy on. Let me wait till he should be getting on.
What up, dog?
Yo,
Yeah, what up?
Grab, what's up, man?
Man, just trying to make it, man. Trying to make it.
Definitely, man. I appreciate you getting on, man. So once again, man, I got a special guest, man. Kenneth Gilstrap, right? Middle Tennessee State University's defensive back coach. Also an author, right? I got him joining me, man. But I had a friendship, man, with Gilstrap way back when, man. We were
Oh, yeah.
college teammates. He was number 18. I was number 20. So our locker and our dog Banks was right in the middle. Stay having great conversations, man. In-depth conversations outside of football. Whether it be about our relationship with God or just school, just life in general, man. So definitely, man. I just want to allow you the opportunity just to introduce yourself to those that are watching or that will see this, man, and just kind of tell us a little bit like where you're from and what you do, man.
Man, I'm from Decatur, Georgia, right outside Atlanta. Man, like you already said, I coach the corners at Middle Tennessee. I did write a book. I'm just growing every day, just taking every day one day at a time, trying to grow. Always looking to grow as a man. God-fearing man. I'm blessed. I'm blessed for the opportunity to be able to talk on your IG Live on Tackle Thursday, man. I've been seeing what you've been doing, man, and JK been an asset to my life, and I think it's important that we keep doing things like this because iron sharpens iron, man. We just got to keep grinding and keep pushing. Just keep pushing the envelope to inspire these kids, and that's my main goal in life.
Definitely, man. I appreciate that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You doing it, man. You're doing it with just coaching, in college, with writing your book, which we'll get into briefly. But even prior to that, man, like I know how you said, I've been an asset. And I know I'm a few years older than you. So I was like a junior, I think, when you came in or going to be
Yeah.
I might have been like the big homie, but when we got out of school though, it was like it kind of flipped a little bit because I was reaching out to you, like, hey bro, I'm trying to get into be a GA, like what should I do, or I'm trying to get into coaching when you was coaching, high school, I believe at Blackman, right?
Right.
So I and then even when I was going to get my master's, I'm reaching out to you like, bro, what did you go back to get, like what did you study? So how you may look at me, man, I look at you the same way, like you said, iron sharpening iron. Like I know, hey, let me call Gilstrap and get some advice or on tips on certain things, man. But definitely, man. So you coach at MTSU, man, your alma mater, bro. Like how does that feel, man? I think it's amazing to play for a college, but then to be able to go back and lead young men at the college that you once, ran through those same doors, caught picks on
Right.
the field, like how does it feel to coach at your alma mater, man?
It's an honor. Um, it's an honor. Every day you step in office, you owe your teammates and you owe the people that supported you. And I think you have a different responsibility and you see things different than you would at another university. You kind of take more pride in it. You want it to look a certain way. And if it don't look a certain way, you take pride in it, you take it personal. But it is different. It's a lot easier in some aspects from the standpoint of knowing where everything is and knowing how things operate and knowing before I even touch the topic, I might can help a coach in the area like, hey man, I already know how Coach Stock gonna react to this. So I already know what's gonna happen in this space. Whereas it's hard, it can be hard because you gotta defeat everybody seeing you as a player around. I'm a young guy. Everybody gonna see you as, oh, that's Strap. He just got done playing. Where in the professional space, you want to defeat that and you want to grow. You want to be more than just the player coach relationship with a guy. You want to be the coordinator. You want to be the mind. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
want to be respected for your mind and just not being seen as a player. You want to be respected for your coaching ability. So that's the hard thing. You always got to try to overcome, which is it's a good thing, and it's a blessing and a curse. But I love it. That was my dream. Like, and in the profession, if you can work at your own university, that means you're respected. And I think you got to be respected at home in any industry. If you're a rapper, you got to be respected in your neighborhood. If you're a hooper or a football player, if you can't get it at home first, there's no way you're gonna be able to grow and do things outside of that. So I think Middle Tennessee has blessed me. Middle Tennessee don't owe me anything. I'm grateful for the university. That's one thing I can say.
definitely, man. What's crazy is like I didn't even think of it like see the other side of it. Like you said,
Right,
I only looked at it as like, man, Strap coaching at MT, bro. Like that's love. Like he played there. Man, he had his alma mater. Like who wouldn't want that, right?
right,
But like you said, having to fight or cast down or overcome. Oh, that Strap being viewed as Strap the player. You know what I'm saying?
right, right.
Better that Strap the coach, so definitely, man. And I think it was man, you're doing a great job with him, man. Just from having the opportunity to call that game against WKU, man. That
Yeah, man.
number 4, I think. What is it, Quincy Miller?
Quincy Riley.
Quincy Riley, yeah, bro. Buddy got some potential, man. You already got the good bros in the back,
Yeah.
whole back there, man. So
Oh yeah.
Greg, man. So, but definitely, man. So I definitely, want to transition into talk about your book a little bit before we get into the recruitment process. So, people learn more about you and also just learn more about who you are outside of the coaching realm, right? So I definitely got you, what I'm saying, your book.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But you did bless me with some additional copies for my
Oh
students.
yeah.
So Strap does have Kenneth Gilstrap has a book, man, The Boy from the Swamp. And man, I started looking at it and reading some of it, man, and thought it was interesting. And one of the quotes, man, you talked about, man, was as far as your dad. You said that your dad said, "Reach for the moon and land on the stars." Right?
Right.
Crazy is I tell kids the same thing. My students the same thing. I'm like, hey, reach for the moon, land on the stars. And I shared that on my last live last week on Tackle Thursday. I said that
Right.
the NFL was my moon, right? But the AFL was my stars. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? I reached for the NFL, but I landed on the stars, the AFL, man. So like if you talking to like one, how does that quote like relate to you now? I know your dad told you, and I'm pretty sure it resonates with you so much
Right.
because you put it in your book. Like, what does that quote mean to you, man?
I mean everything. Like I just in any facet of life, I've learned that like just chase your dreams, man. I think a lot of times we set limitations on ourselves as people, And I think at worst, if you just aim for something so high, for instance, like me, I wanted to go to the NFL. I got a shot. It didn't work out, but look, I'm coaching. You know what I'm saying? You might have somebody, a kid might want to be the next LeBron James. Well, you might not end up. You might end up being Phil Jackson, just off of your work ethic and things you learn. Everything's a process, and sometimes God will steer you another way, based off what you're chasing, and you find your purpose in other areas. And I think that's really big, especially for kids, man. If they want to play ball, go play ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you playing ball might make you want to be a sports doctor or something
Yeah.
else. You know, you playing ball might make you want to be a psychologist because you see the issues that people deal with about the guys in the locker room. You just being the best version of yourself at all times, and waking up in the morning and have something to chase. That
Yeah.
gives you, that fuels you, man. I think that's me. Like when I was in school, nobody couldn't tell me I wasn't gonna be an All-American football and track athlete. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know, where most people be like, oh man, you need to focus on one sport. You know, but honestly, me running track and playing football got me where I got where I was my whole life. So me focusing on one thing could have marginalized me, and I might not be where I'm sitting at today. You know, or it could have worked the other way around. But that's just me. Be the best version of yourself at all times. And don't let nobody tell you what you can't do, because you don't know where you can end up. You know what I'm saying? I think that quote is always big with me, and I tell my players that. I always tell a young man that, because I see kids like, oh man, I just want this. I just want to go D1. Nah, if you want to go play, you want to go play at the top. When I recruit a kid, it bothers me if he just want to play at, you know what I'm saying, Middle Tennessee. If you don't want to go to the league, you don't want to graduate, hey dog, I ain't but so much I got for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main thing.
Gotcha, man. You said something, because I was gonna lead into that question, because we got high school athletes, we got parents that's watching or that will see this, man, and you
Right.
know, and I think there's always this reality, right? Dream big, but how do you dream, right, and keep perspective or reality within it, right? So, like for me, I wanted to go to the University of Miami, right?
Right. Right.
That's where I wanted to go. Like, hey, I want to put on the
Yeah.
black Nikes. Let's go.
Yeah.
That was my mentality. You feel me? But at some point, and I shared it, and if you don't see it after this video, go watch the video where I share my story, like my recruiting video story, that it got to a point I realized I wasn't going, you know what I'm saying, that wasn't looking, I wasn't recruited by them. Back then, man, you had to literally be 5-star to
Yeah.
go to, like, you had to be literally 5-star. You had to be like, bigger than everybody in your position, faster than, so it was a little different then. So what do you say to a recruit? Like you said, that you want a kid that dreams big, or to where the dream may seem a little unrealistic in a sense, or not. Like, so that's what you want in a kid, or what? How do you tell a recruit, hey, dream big, but be a realist too? Like maybe your size, or maybe your speed, or maybe your GPA doesn't align with the UMs and the
Right.
University of Florida State. So how do you, what I'm saying, relate that? What would you tell a high school student athlete that's dreaming big like that?
It's all about timing. So honestly, like around the summertime and the spring when you recruiting a guy, I look at those kids that just, and sometimes kids, they're honest with themselves. You have a kid that's honest with himself and say, well, man, I don't got this offer, so maybe I can work to get MT.
Okay.
Well, and I'll tell coaches, a lot of times coaches are like, man, this kid thinks he's going this way. He's crazy. You want him to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? You want
Yeah.
that kid to be crazy and believe in himself so much, because if he don't, he's gonna marginalize himself when he gets there, or he's just gonna settle. And and when it comes to a space where I can tell a kid, all right, now, you know what I'm saying, you don't got this, you might need to take this. I
Yeah.
think that's all about timing. When it's 2 weeks before signing day,
Okay.
or if I was coaching high school and I have a kid that may pass up on an opportunity, and just understanding like, all right, bro, you want to go to this D1 school. They already got 4 cornerbacks committed. All right. They ain't called you, they ain't talked to you. That's the only time where I'll be real with a kid. Or if the kid just might not be good enough, you might have to tell them. But me personally as a coach, if that kid, if I go to my colleagues that work in another school and say, all right, would you recruit this kid? If he can't play at Georgia or Miami, I don't want him, and
Yeah.
I'm picky like that. Or if he don't
Yeah.
believe that he gonna go to the league, or he ain't the best thing smoking, I don't want him, because that's the mentality that you have to play with out there. People don't understand when you put your life on the line when you put them pads on.
Yeah.
It's a gladiator sport, so
Yeah.
you need that
So
mindset.
it sounds like you looking for people when you looking for kids with the mentality
Right,
of I should be playing
right.
at a Georgia
I want
or
that
whatever.
kid that's pissed off. You know
Yeah,
how, man, when we was in the locker room, man, it didn't matter who we played. Like that '09 team, that 2010 team, 2012, the best teams we had at middle, we was pissed off every day. Like it didn't matter. We was pissed off. And I want that kid that's pissed off every day to be the best version of himself, to prove it every day. Because if you
gotcha.
get a kid like that and he has the ability, it don't matter, man. The way God works, man, you got the mentality and the ability, you always gonna prosper. You know what I'm saying? That kid always gonna find a way to win. And when you got a group of kids like that, that's when you got a winning program, a winning team.
Definitely. No, so I like your point, man. So it's definitely to the high school, student athletes, even parents. Like, basically, you're saying, man, timing is everything.
Right,
That hey, the options open, dream big, and then as timing comes down and you getting closer to signing day, you might have missed the early signing period, but now you're getting closer to the February signing period, and it's 2 weeks left, and maybe you didn't hear or you're being reached out more from what I'm saying, a smaller school, maybe not your dream school, then that's when you start to kind of
right.
close them.
You got to be real with yourself at that point.
Got you. But don't just close your options just because you're a junior right now and you
Right,
look and say, man, I might not be bigger than that safety they recruit, and I might not throw as hard or far as that quarterback. Don't just close those options. Have the mindset of,
right,
look, I can work to get there. You know what I'm saying? But even if I don't get there, I'm gonna go ball somewhere else though.
right.
That's
And
right.
I don't, and honestly, I don't care if it's so real in this recruiting deal, because a lot of times coaches get emotional, and I try to put myself in players' shoes.
Yeah.
For example, if I got a kid that, like, I tell the kid, hey, look, man, I'm taking this certain amount of kids. I want you. You're my top guy. Looking at it, I think I'm better than what you know what I'm saying? Am I leading? Yes, sir. All right, commit. You know what I'm saying? Now, if something come better and you feel like it's better, I'm going to fight to get you all day of the week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not going to let anybody beat me. But if it's a
Yeah.
better opportunity out there, you know what I'm saying? Take it. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I want to see kids win. Now, I'm gonna give my piece. I'm gonna state my case why I should coach you. But if you got an opportunity to solidify something, then take it. You know what I'm saying? Solidify, especially how the game is now, man. At this point, coaches leave at any moment. Kids can decommit at any moment. So if you got something that you need, mom and daddy can't pay for school, man, y'all solidify that first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if we want you, we'll wait on you. You got me?
Yeah. That's
If we
real.
want you, if you that valuable, we'll wait on you. Just point blank, period. Because, like you said, 5 or 10 years ago, man, you commit to a school in November, you waiting to February. It get to January, they be like, hey, man, we you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, this school come and the kids are flipped. It was different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now the game's different, especially with D1s. You can't oversign. When we was in school, you could sign 36, 40 kids to one signing class, or 32 kids.
Yeah.
If you got the scholarship numbers available. And now you only can sign 25. So these kids got to make sure that be realistic with yourself at some point. And if you don't have the ability to be picky, pick that school, but still having your mind like, nah, man, I want to go to UGA.
Yeah.
I'm gonna earn
Got-
UGA. But
So,
if I need to fill up Memphis, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to Memphis. I'm gonna go to Tennessee State right now, and then if
yeah.
I want UGA, I'm gonna earn my way there. But
So
don't just pass up on the opportunity.
so let me ask you this. So how because for me, right? I got recruited by so the options that I was considering was Bowling Green in Ohio, MT,
Right,
and I was being recruited by FAM and Marshall, right? But I didn't take the visit to Marshall. So once the kids, so if I got a high school, so the high school athletes right now, so
right,
say I want to go to UGA, but
right,
I got an offer from Memphis. You
right,
saying that you could sign that, or once you hold on, let me ask you. Saying that I commit to your school is one thing, but once I
right.
sign out of line, I'm stuck.
It's over. Yeah, it's over.
Okay,
Once you sign
okay,
the
that's
dotted
what I
line, it's
want
over. Yeah,
clarification.
once you sign that
Okay,
dotted line, it's over. And I think,
okay,
and it's gonna be some coaches that mad at me when I say this, but man, if you seal the deal, you commit to something. A commitment is that's just words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
at the
yeah,
end of the day, any man's gonna go for the best opportunity. You know,
yeah,
and a lot of times, a lot of these kids think, "Oh, I'm going Power 5." That might not be the best opportunity.
yeah,
You got me like a lot of it. I don't want to go here. I want to go there. Like a lot, and you're seeing now, which I'm proud of these kids. You see kids pass up on Power 5 opportunities and really evaluate the process and see
yes,
what's
sir.
going on and know what's the better fit for them. And I
Yeah,
think, and I think that's due to the high school guys, the guys in the community really training these kids up these days. Whereas when we came out, all we just seen, I want to play on TV. Well, now everybody play on TV. You know what I'm
hey,
saying? You see a
that was
game on Facebook. You know
we
what
seen
I'm
it.
saying? Like,
Yeah, bro. We seen the shiny toys. You get what I'm
right,
saying? Like
right, right,
that's
right,
I was just talking to them boys in the group me, man. I was just like, cause we were seeing what Deion Sanders doing. You know,
right.
and which he is killing. And man, we and Coach Simmons doing his thing down there at FAM, and you
Right.
was down there coaching at FAM as well. And you see with Deion Sanders, like he's really taking it over with the social media and the things
Yeah.
that he's doing. And like I said, I was like, I can't blame a college recruit, a college athlete, if they choose to go to, you know what I mean, a MTSU or if we just say a PWI, right?
Right.
I can't blame them because I did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I wasn't aware. It wasn't as much media as it was or much coverage, and I wasn't aware. Like you said, I just want to be on TV because all we
Right.
heard was D1, D1, D1. Because we thought that it was a formula to get to the league. I gotta
Right.
go D1, I gotta go ball, and then you know what I'm saying, run a fast 40, da 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 da. I'm going to the league. But
But you
as
know
we,
what they don't educate us on though?
huh?
It's more players from HBCUs that don't went D1 than a lot of these schools. And I'm
Yeah,
talking about year in and year out still compared to some of the Sunbelt schools. Year in out still to this day, like traditionally still pumping out players. Like Tennessee State still pump out 2 or 3 a year. Like
yeah,
they was pumping out an O lineman every year at one point.
yeah. They
Like,
were.
but it's
Uh,
all about education, and
yeah,
I think now, like just with the climate that the country was in 6 months ago or 3 months ago that we've been in for you know what I'm saying? Since we
yeah,
got here, I think kids are being more knowledgeable of what's going on. I think when a guy like Deion get that job, or a guy like Coach Simmons get a job like that, and I think it's important that these
yeah,
kids really see, you know what I'm saying? It ain't just HBCUs. It's just like, well, I'm a quarterback. I know if I go to this school, they sign 3 4 stars, or I can go to this school and play 3 years as a starter. Like, I got to make the right decision for me. I think that's what kids need to do,
yeah.
really see.
Definitely. I think you know what I'm saying, talking because to your point, because we looked at it, we like, man, bro, if I just go to Alabama, bro, I put
Yeah.
my good we're going to the league, right?
Yeah, and that's
But
that's true though. That is
it,
true though.
it is. It is. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's way more players at Alabama. You feel me? That go there and end up transferring because you know what I'm saying. Even if we look at Justin Fields, right? The man balling at Ohio State. In my opinion, I don't know if Justin Fields should have went to Georgia because
Right.
the dude that played in front of him was a freshman. Started.
Yeah.
So like I heard RG3 say this, bro. He said, talent respect talent, bro. So he was like, it ain't about being scared, it's talent respect talent. So even like when I came out and went to MT at Western Michigan, bro, they had 2 safeties.
Yeah.
Lewis Delmis played in
they
the
was
league.
they was
EJ
loaded.
Big played in the league. They was only sophomores, bro, when I was coming out of school. So and Coach Schaefer coached them at the D
Right,
court
right, right.
right now. He recruited me, bro. I'm like, okay, like
You
I'm
just
trying to
got
go play
that's
early.
but you
I'm trying
made
to
the
play right
smart
away.
decision though. You made the
Yeah,
smart decision.
I'm not afraid to compete, but you got 2 safeties, DBs starting as sophomores. So I could go in, get some PT, whatever the case may be, but I'm not gonna be able to flourish like I want because these guys
Right.
are young. So coming to MT, man, I was blessed to play as a true freshman. You know what I'm saying? So definitely I think like to your point that we all, the athletes gotta weigh the options out. Don't just go for the name per se to just say, hey, I went to, I went to
Right.
Alabama, I went to this. Like go to somewhere that you're gonna actually get film and play. Because to your point, HBCUs, them boys pumping out players every year. And even like to other schools, like man, App State, Coach Watts, them, they out there killing
Yeah.
it.
Right.
And just like competing with all the teams they play against. Look at Coastal Carolina. So it's just so many names and player in colleges that we didn't hear about when we was coming up, but are great opportunities for
Right,
the
right.
definitely, man. I definitely, man, wanna right. So like you mentioned in the beginning, man, you talked about how you was a two-sport athlete, right? And
Right,
so we got
right.
right now. I know, I coached a two-sport athlete, play basketball, football, and we got multiple ones that are watching this or that's watching it now. So what was your experience coming out of the A, right? Hey, coming out of
Yeah.
Georgia, as a two-sport athlete, doing your thing in track, doing your thing in football. Like, how did you go about your recruiting process, and how did you end up choosing MT, where you were able to run track and play football?
Man, I was blessed, man, to be from a talent rich area just like you. You from 954 Broward County. So I'm from
Yeah,
DeKalb County. And at the
yeah,
time, man, DeKalb, where I'm from, man, we had such a great like great youth leagues and things of that nature. So like, man, honestly, dog, like you knew the dudes I went to school with, the dudes I played little league with. Like, man, it was
yeah,
it was it was a dude on every corner trying to take your head off. And to a point where, man, when you left Atlanta, when you left my little pocket of Atlanta, like,
yeah,
bro, you thought you could beat anybody. Just like, and that's why, just like a Dade or a Broward do. Like, man, if I make it out of Broward, like, I'm the best in the nation, like straight up.
yeah.
So,
Hey,
man, just
bro.
running as youth track and things of the nature, playing football, I just always like I gotta do both. I gotta do both. I gotta do both because that was the thing. And then when I got to high school, when I got to high school, I flourished at track early. You
Yeah,
know, in the eighth grade, I was the fastest in the country as a sixth grader. In the eighth grade, I was the fastest in the country. I popped my hip. So then I went in the ninth grade. All the high school coaches. My dad coached high school football. So all I want to do was play for my dad, which I probably, looking back at it, I probably should have went to another high school.
uh,
And then it didn't work out with my dad as a freshman. I transferred schools. So my ninth and 10th grade year, I'm playing young, but man, I was itty bitty. I was like 5'5", 135. But all I could do was run. And I flourished that track early. And then my senior year, actually, the crazy thing is, so my sophomore year, I got fourth in the state, but I was one of the fastest sophomores in the country. So when I really hit was when I went overseas to run on the world youth team. And when I went and ran on the world youth team, I came back and I was thinking, I'm like, man, is this man, should I play football? Because
yeah,
at that time, I'm like, man, I was the third fastest in the world for 17 and under, and I was 15 years old.
yeah,
I said, man, should I play football? And that's all, that was the whole hood, like, man, Strap about to give it up. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
and,
yeah,
and looking back, and honestly, like in my career, I probably would have been on the Olympic team right now, but
yeah,
I couldn't wake up and not play ball. Like, I ran track to play football.
yeah.
So then I got him, and honestly, I didn't flourish in football because, you know what I'm saying, I was at a new high school. Everybody was young, it was ninth and 10th graders. And
Uh-huh.
then my senior year, I wanted to be an offensive player. I was like, man, I want to play offense. But my DB coach was like, man, you ain't playing offense. We ain't about to get you hurt. We got to win the state track meet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So honestly, I'll be honest, no shot at my high school coaches, but I wasn't developed right.
Hmm.
But I got a nugget to that too. You know what I'm saying? I got a nugget to that. So I wasn't developed right. Then my senior year, man, they gave me the ball like 7 to 8 times. I scored a touchdown a game. They put me on the best guy every week. I just lock up.
Yeah,
So then, like going into my senior, I had Memphis and Ohio in football, but track wise, I had South Carolina, Kentucky, and I wanted LSU. So
yeah,
look, this crazy thing, JK. It was only two schools that I said, "Hey, Pop, only two schools to get me to stop playing ball," and it was LSU and Southern Cal. And in my mind, I was like, "Man, I'll go there." You know what I'm saying? UF. I was like, "I'll go there, but I'm gonna walk on and play football."
yeah,
And South Carolina was recruiting me in football, but they was like, man, we're not gonna take him. He's too small. So I
yeah,
told the coach of South Carolina, like, hey man, I'll come if you let me walk on. You know what I'm saying? But the whole time Coach Simmons was recruiting me, he was like, bro, you can do both. You can do both. And I was like, man, whoever let me do both, that's where I'm going. So later
gotcha.
on in the process, and then JK, this crazy. My dad, just how my dad was when I was raised, Atlanta is a huge HBCU culture. Like you can go in the barbershop in Atlanta, they talking about Grambling versus Fam. Or
Yeah,
they talking about Grambling versus Southern or Fam versus Bethune. They not just as much as they talking about Alabama versus Georgia.
Yeah.
So Jackson State, my cousin was the quarterback at Jackson State. And at the time, I was like, man, I want to go HBCU. But I had fell in love with Coach Stock and Coach Simmons. Because I was like, man, I can go kill HBCU. And my
Yeah.
dad was just like, man, you probably had one white teacher in high school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You been around, you from an all black area. You need to go see
Mm.
something else. All right. So I
Got
go to middle. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I kick it with y'all boys on my visit. You know what I'm
you.
saying? I was like,
know,
man, I'm going to
you
middle.
know,
Yeah. Yeah. Coach Hayes, I came on my visit. Coach Stock did a great job recruiting me. He made me feel like I was bigger than the program, basically. You know, he's
yeah. Yeah.
like they kept me separate from the rest of the recruits. I was going with the track coaches places.
Yeah.
Malcolm Bell played on my little league team. You know, so I
Yeah.
was like, man, like,
So, hey, some good old states,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Heinz
So
57 salts.
yeah, oh yeah. So at that time, it was like, it was like, man, and my dad was a coach. He had already put me on game because
Yeah.
Louisville and West Virginia came in. Louisville had a horrible track program. Middle Tennessee had legendary Coach Hayes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, dang, Coach Hayes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can be the best version of myself at middle. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
from an academic standpoint and all those things. So I chose late, but I didn't go to West Virginia because they didn't have a track program. But I had fell in love with
Okay.
Coach Simmons. My mama was not letting me go anywhere else, man. Coach Simmons would come to my house and fall asleep on the couch, like before he go to his next stop. Like that's how close we
Yeah.
had
Shout out.
got.
Yeah.
So that's why I chose middle, man. They let me do two sports, and that was a part of the
Gotcha.
deal.
So,
Like,
I like, man, and I think one thing, man, and I learned this, man, and I learned this, man, just through growing up and just even my professional football career, that I didn't really realize that, like, we got we have leverage as well.
right.
College has leverage. So my student athletes, parents, like you have leverage as well, right? To a
Right.
certain, and you have wants as well. And it sounds like you went through your options and you had a choice. You like, look, I want to go somewhere that'll let me do both, right? And I think
Right.
sometimes when we're in high school, we feel like we don't have a voice, or when you're unaware, or if you're the first person going through the process, you don't really know the ins and outs.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying, you got leverage. You don't have to comply to every single thing, or give in to the scouts, because they, not all of them, but sometimes they try to run game. You know what I'm
Most of the
saying?
time, they're gonna tell you what they want you to know, like straight up. That's what they're gonna tell you. They're gonna tell you what they want you to know. And when I got recruited, like I guess they couldn't do that with me. My pop side was on game, and I
Yeah.
try to tell kids that now. JK, I don't tell the kid not like I'm like, hey man, you know what I'm saying, this situation better for you.
Yeah.
I think that it's sometimes, and that's what kids gotta learn now. They gotta know what's best for them. Like
Definitely.
you wanna go to California, but hey man, you ain't never made it you ain't never been outside of uh
Down
Oochie
the street.
Coochie, Florida, you know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
might not flourish out there.
Yeah.
You might need to go to a or they make the right decision for them. And the crazy thing that's about this though, like what I told Coach Stock sitting on my couch. I said, Coach, he said, what do you want to do if football or track don't work out? So I'm a coach. He told me, you know what I'm saying? I said, Coach, I want to coach. And honestly, him saying like, if you don't get in any trouble and if you handle your business, I'll hire you one day. And I laughed at it, but I
Yeah.
held on to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what Coach Stock did? As soon as I got done playing, he was like, hey, I think you got a chance to get drafted, honestly. But I want you to coach. I think you can coach.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So him telling me that did a lot for me in recruiting. Like people don't even know him telling me that. You know what I'm saying? That he would hire me as a coach.
Relationship side of it, and
Right, right,
that's what I think. So parents and athletes, man, when you might have options, right? And don't just go always for the shinier toy or with the bigger name, right? And like you said, it is about relationship, because you're not gonna be around the head coach all the time. Because you talk
right,
about Coach Simmons, the relationship you built with him was key. And I mean, and to your point, a coach may tell you what you want to hear, but that's why it's your job as the athlete, as the parent, as the recruit, to do your research, right?
Right.
Research a program to see, hey man, are they have they been losing? Like I heard Rod say this. He was like, man, research a program, see if they've been losing or winning.
Right.
If they've been winning, there's a good chance that coach may be there for your tenure. Or if they've been winning consecutively, there's a good chance he may be out
Right.
in 2 years off to a better opportunity.
Right.
Or right, if they've been losing, right, read articles, see if the
Yeah.
coach or the AD are on good relationship, good, you know what I'm saying? Is the alumni backing the coach? Because there's a good chance if they haven't been winning, they might not make it your whole tenure. So those are like the things that student athletes and parents need to look at more than just who on TV.
Right. And it's
Who
more access to you know what I'm saying? It's more access than anything. You know what I'm saying? These kids can find out. Like when I was in school, the big deal was go on Facebook and ask, let me look up JK the guy, let me DM JK on Facebook.
yeah,
Man, these kids can find a kid, and it was hard to find JK. JK man might be on Facebook, JK20, you know what I'm saying? Pick them.
yeah,
Well, now they can type a kid name in, find them, reach out to people.
yeah,
It's too much. It's too much access now to make the wrong decision. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna make mistakes, but it's so much
yeah.
access now.
So one, at the end, I want you to say how somebody could reach you, because I know we got college
Right.
athletes typing in the chat already. But talk to a student athlete and a parent right now that's like, look, my son got film, he can ball, or she got film, man. Because I don't want, you know what I'm saying? It just ain't
Right.
football, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Right. Right.
Right? And all of that, right? So tell the student athlete, tell the parent how they can reach or contact or send a film out to colleges, regardless of sport, and then say, like, you know what I'm saying, how they can reach you if they trying to send film out to you.
So honestly, a lot of people go through the email deal like that, and we get millions of emails every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Millions of emails every day. The first thing I can tell a kid, you know what I'm saying? You told your story about. I heard you on like the commercial for this deal. You told about how they came to see Twan and they ended up seeing you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I
Yeah.
think, and then sometimes kids don't get the opportunity to get looked at. But the main thing is finding someone that can get them in the room. For instance, all right, say you want to get your film to me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You want to get your film to me. You might need to go through your high school coach or go through the proper channel that might have to go to our director of player personnel to get
Yeah.
them the film. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But the first thing is handle your business on the field. You know what I'm saying? Handle your business on the field. All right. Then you might, man, I can play D1 ball. Well, I might need to go to some D2 schools first and get offered by the D2 schools. And then let me go to and then I go to the FCS schools, give me some offers by the FCS schools. If you really want to hustle and get your scholarships up, then the
Yeah.
FCS schools looking at you. All right, now I'm gonna go. Look, so now when I look at a kid, what's the first thing? Human nature, what you gonna say?
Who,
Hey, who
man,
offered them?
offering him,
Yeah,
and
who offered? Yeah, as a
like,
coach, you know what I'm saying? Because
hey,
a
I
lot of
never
these coaches
thought like
don't do
that, bro.
nothing but everybody they want what everybody else wants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like you in school in a cafeteria, everybody want the same girl, but they might not see the little girl over there with the glasses on, just doing her work. You might be like, oh, that's a diamond in the rough. That's the
Yeah.
hardest thing to do as a coach. But I know if you just got these, if you just keep working in that way, that can help you. But the main thing kids and parents gotta understand is if you believe in your child or you believe in yourself as a kid, sometimes you might and you get overlooked. You might got to take the best opportunity you have. Or if you got the grades and you can get a scholarship, go walk on.
Yeah.
It's going to be more walk-on scholarships given out than ever because of the transfer portal, and you
Yeah.
can't oversign a kid. So if we
Okay.
only can sign 25 scholarships and we lose 30 seniors, what we going to do with them other 5 scholarships? Give them
Got
to a walk-on. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think you got to just get what you can get first and keep working up the ladder on your
That's
scholarships. Everybody want to play at the highest level. You know what I'm saying? And I think, and these kids need to understand in today's game. My first job was at Arkansas Monticello, and nobody even know where that school is. And we had a
I,
kid named I had 2 kids. I had a corner that never played corner before he played running back. He ended up getting a shot in Canada. Then we had a receiver, but man, the kid told me he cried His name was Jalen Tolliver. He said he cried the day he signed to Arkansas
Yeah.
Monticello because that wasn't his dream, but he
Yeah.
took advantage of the opportunity. He played 2 years in the league, and then he went and played in the XFL. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just that he didn't think in his mind like I'm just gonna give up. Man, it's a lot of kids, especially in my neighborhood, that give up and just stop playing ball because they don't get what they want instead of
Yeah.
just taking advantage of the opportunity they have in front of them.
Man, I hear that, man. So I'm gonna go back through what you said to break it down for
Right,
the student athletes, for their parents. So you said, right? Cause I never looked at it like this. Growing up, my goal was, like I said, college. I'm trying to get to University of Miami, right?
right,
So you're saying that, yes, like we talked about, dream big, dream, reach for the moon, right? But you're saying that if you're not getting attention from those bigger schools,
right,
right? Which bigger is a relative word. So it big for somebody could be TSU, big for somebody could be MT, big for somebody could be Alabama, right? So if you're not getting that attention, now start lower.
right,
So yeah, NAIA, D1 AA, you know what I'm saying? Division One, FCS. Go to your mid majors. Then, you know what I'm saying, with your non-power five, MTSU. Then, like you said, once you start to garner the offers from other people, now you
right,
catching on. Like, hold on, like this DB got TSU. This DB got you know what I'm saying,
right,
Furman. This DB got, Howard. Okay, then now he got Charlotte. Now I got to look at him, right? Because you're saying they're able to get the offers on.
right.
So definitely. So if you don't have offers right now, and you want to go to a particular college, start down, like you said, get your
Yeah,
attention. Bring the attractability, which is the offers, like you said. You see the shiny toy, like everybody want that. Oh, I need to get that too. Just like in Little Giants, everybody want a
yeah,
Spike. They start in
yeah,
by Spike. Hold on, Spike, what, Spike? Oh, they racing to get Spike. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, it's a hot commodity. So definitely, man, that was a good point, man. And you said that many people try to go through the email route, right?
right.
But y'all get tons of
Man, we
emails.
get we get thousands of emails, man. And I'll be
Thousands.
honest, like, some schools, I don't been at a school where they be like, you gotta go through all your emails. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But it's unrealistic. Like, I mean, like for instance, today we had a kid. I can't even think of the kid name. He
yeah.
emailed the same email 20 times.
Off state.
20 times. I don't know if it was a mistake, but it was the same 20 times. Hey, coach, I play corner. I'm from
Yeah,
California. I remember exactly. We didn't get a season this year. I'm 5'9", 165 pounds. I run this. Like, you know how many of those emails you get? You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
So okay, so not the email. So recruits, right? If you do send the email, you got to have a better option, right?
Right.
So what's the better option? I know, like coaching, we got Huddle, we got Twitter, right? Hey, tweet them, send your Huddle. They making highlights the day after the game. Remember,
Yeah.
I had the VHS on my
Yeah.
highlight tracking. Yeah,
You gotta,
tracking, bro.
you gotta, you gotta. I did mine on the Xbox in the TV with the VHS, and I pressed
Yeah.
record on it. I made my own highlight tape.
So so if email is not the best, how should student athletes, parents, regardless of sports, how should they attempt to contact college coaches, man?
I think first thing, once this COVID thing get over, I don't think it's contacting. I think it start like my junior year. I got to get as a parent. You save that money up. You get your kid in front of as many people as you can. And if
Mm,
he's not getting recruited by Georgia, why are you taking him to the Georgia camp? You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
yeah,
If he getting recruited by, a whole bunch of FCS schools, take him to those camps. Because
yeah,
once that kid catch fire, if he good enough, the name it's gonna start bubbling. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
For instance, I don't see the kid have nothing. All right. Then the kid go to UT Martin camp. All right. Then the kid go to UT Tech camp. He get them two offers. All right. Austin P ain't even seen him. They pop the film. Oh, who is this? Austin P offer him. All right. Now the whole OVC don't offer them. All right. Now we looking at the kid like, dang, you feel me? Now I don't have that happen to me, a kid out of Atlanta. I'm the only one that offer him. I'm the only one that go out of way to offer him.
yeah,
Man, that kid film drop the middle of his senior year. The kid going to Texas Tech. Never seen him again. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
But
So
But now you have a kid. He'll be at this big school. He'll go to. Man, I'm going to Florida Georgia Clemson camp and get overlooked.
yeah, because and that's a good point. So you're saying that it's less about, so if you have a freshman right now, a
Right.
sophomore, a junior in high school, regardless of sport, is
Right.
less about, from hearing from you, it's less about contacting them per se, but it's more about doing the groundwork. So
Right.
that
Do the
groundwork
groundwork.
is, hey, if I'm being recruited by this person, let me try to get to their camp. Let me try to, you know what I'm saying, make myself marketable, put
Right.
myself out there, catch the attention of other people, right?
Right.
Then, so now that puts the onus on parents, because now parents have to, we got a budget. We got a budget. We got to say, okay, because we, as parents, we can't just sit back and say, oh, my son, you know what I'm saying, this is going, we got to put the effort in too. So
Right.
maybe you got to cut back on certain things and make room for camps. I know my parents, man, in my high school, man, man, Coach Taylor and now Coach Glenn, them doing their thing down there, man, the deal field. But like we went to Rutgers. We flew to Rutgers. They flew the seniors to Rutgers, right? But not for free. You know what I'm saying? We had a booster club, but our parents had to still pay to get
Right.
in front of Rutgers. And then we drove to Auburn camp. But like you said, man, we gotta, parents have to you know, pay and spend some money. It's an
Right.
investment.
Right.
So you spend some money on the front end, and then on the back end, hopefully, is a free scholarship for 4 years,
Right.
which could then matriculate into you know, a potential professional career. But
Right.
if that works, that doesn't, could end yourself up where you at right now,
Right.
coaching. You know what I'm saying, at your alma mater. You know what I mean?
And then the
So
whole I'm gonna say this about the contact thing. It's just harder to contact the FBS schools, I think. Like
yeah,
emailing the FBS schools, like, you know what I'm saying? No, I ain't gonna lie. We got guys that go through the emails, you know what I'm saying? But the biggest thing with me, you know what I'm saying, that I learned just watching the big school, I'm gonna be like, man, I ain't seen the kid. You know what I'm saying? You always,
yeah,
man, I ain't see him. What if I
yeah.
seen him? You know, like I don't know, man. But I seen this kid around the corner. You always gonna go off what you see more than anything. Your film
Mm-hmm.
got to be over the top, better than
Gotcha.
everybody else's, because
So
naturally
it's,
you're gonna go off what you see.
gotcha. Okay. So you got to try to get in front of people.
Right,
Right? So okay, so tell me this though, right? So those are things I believe that'll help everybody, especially underclassmen, middle school.
right,
It's but so we in a pandemic, bro, and what really sparked me to want to do this today is I was on Twitter, and I seen that they were saying, man, look, if you're a senior athlete in 2020 right now, or even going in 2021, they was like, man, you know, with the NCAA, right? You told me, we had a conversation. You told me that the NCAA has allowed for every person to get an additional year, right?
right.
So if I was a junior in 2020 and I played, I'm gonna be a junior in 2021, right?
Yep. If you're a junior in college, you're gonna be a junior in 2021.
So so now if I'm a senior right now and I haven't committed to a school, like what steps, and I haven't did the early signing day period, but I'm trying to get signed by February, you know, the first Wednesday in February. What would be your advice? My season is over. Maybe I did have a season, maybe I didn't have a season. I don't have any camps that I can go to get in front of anybody. What would be your advice to someone that's on the outside looking in that want to get signed to a college by signing day in February?
Honestly, I would just, like I told you, what I would do. Say if I had nothing, if I
Yeah,
knew I
right.
was good enough and I had nothing, I'm approaching the NAIA and the D2 schools first and trying to
Okay.
get my name hot. All right,
Yeah,
then I'm approaching the FCS schools. That's when I'm doing my email and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? And what we do as parents, like we just do it ourselves. We put the pressure on the high school coach. You know what I'm saying? If the
yeah,
high school coaches put the pressure on that, because it's different. When that high school coach called me, when that high school coach sent me the mail, you know what I'm saying? Because we
yeah.
have to keep a relationship with the high school coaches. For instance,
Mm-hmm.
if you're a high school coach and I don't ever answer your call until I want something from you, you're gonna be like, man, dog, fake, man. He only hit me up when he wants something.
Yeah,
But but as a high school coach, if I trust that coach, or if that coach keep hitting me up about a kid, eventually I'm gonna watch him. You
yeah.
got me? If
Gotcha.
I'm respecting myself in this profession, and I think that's the main thing. Put the pressure on the high school coaches, but be realistic. Say, hey, coach, send this to Louisville, and you know Louisville got 25 signees already. Like, nah, coach, I ain't got nothing. Send it to, you know what I'm saying, whatever D2 school it is, coach. I just need something. You
Yeah,
know, and then when that happened, but then when you get something, blow it up, because everybody gonna watch. They're like right now, West Kentucky off a key, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's your right.
saying?
Right,
I'm
keep going.
gonna see, like, you know what I'm saying, like, or if it's a kid, even if Eastern Kentucky come off a kid in Murfreesboro, I'm like, oh, who is this? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You gonna watch. You gonna want to know. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the main thing. Put the pressure on the high school coaches to get in contact with those coaches, because
gotcha.
we have to keep a relationship with the high school coaches. Because if I don't answer that coach, if I don't develop a relationship with that coach, then he gonna have a player eventually. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and
And
then
yeah,
so
that's what I would do. That's
so now
exactly what I would do.
that it sounds like too, right? So even going back to my underclassmen right now, underclassmen, you got to be sure to keep a good rapport with your coaches. Mom,
Right.
as aunties, uncles, grandma, granddad, you can't come and cuss out the coach
Right, right,
because
right, right, right. They
Johnny
gotta
ain't
help
playing.
you. They
Like
gotta
because
help
like
you.
coaches are humans. You feel me? Like, so I'm a coach and we coach, you know what I'm saying? I coach too. So if you come and disrespect the coach,
Yeah.
that person ain't gonna be, you know,
He ain't gonna put
very
as much
willing.
work in for you. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna
Exactly. Like, man, hold on, man. This man, mama didn't curse
yeah.
me out, disrespected me. Like, why should I call Strap for him, right? So it's important that the kid keeps a good relationship, a good rapport. The parents, even if you disagree, parents go to them respectfully because, like you said, college coaches have relationships with
Right.
high school coaches, and high school coaches have a lot of power. Not to abuse it, but they got the power. You know what I'm saying? To be that connector. So definitely, bro. I definitely think that's a good point, man. That is not just on high school coaches. That the parents got a role to play. High school athletes, you got to have a role. You got to ball on the field. You got to have the grades, the whole nine. And you got to put the work in and get in
Right.
front of. And I like, man, because what you're talking about, man, is you got to show humility. Like,
Exactly.
so, like, yes, I want to go. Like, I wanted to go to UL, University of Miami, man. I wanted to go there, but I had to understand, okay, like that's not what's for me. God, that ain't what God got for me. And I had
Right.
to be okay. Not saying it doesn't hurt, but still understanding that, like, I heard TDJ say this, man, like, be great on your level. So I couldn't
Exactly.
come. But get what? I was like, well, I'm about to go to MT and try to be the best that ever do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then when we play them schools, I'm trying to dog them for
Yeah,
not,
we try yeah.
so definitely, man. I want to go through the chat, bro. And I see people like comment. If you got any questions for Coach Kenneth Gilstrap, man, please write them in the chat. I know some of y'all already did. I'm gonna try to go back through. I'm gonna transition into our Kellem portion of Tackle Thursday, which is basically you ask any question you want. You can ask me a question, Gilstrap a question. It can be about this. It can be about something else, you know what I'm saying? Or what was his favorite game, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. Who's the best player he ever coached? I don't know if you want to put that out. That might be a lot of
Yeah.
pressure. Um, Man, just please put your questions in. I'm gonna try to go through this real quick. I'm trying to go all the way up to the top, man. We got a lot of love out here, man. I appreciate y'all getting on. Strap bringing the people out. Big Strap. Hey, hey, bringing the city out. All right, let me see. So I'm trying to see, man. I'm looking. So somebody in here saying they're WKU transfer, so I'll let you hey, contact, you know what I'm saying? Gil Striker. This once we get off live, it kind of disappear. So, follow the tip that he's saying, but reach out to him, I ain't trying to get your inbox DMs blowed up, bro.
Nah, it's cool. It's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
I check all my
dropping,
messages, man.
dropping his height, and I think, man, this is what 2020 is, bro. Or just like
Yeah.
recruiting time. It's like you have direct access. No way was we gonna get an opportunity to see a coach on live where I can shoot my stuff to him right away, man. Let me see. I got somebody that say they from Siegel High School. Let me see. I'm trying to go down, bro. Somebody, my boy, Hen Dog and his wife, man, Kiara. They said we need more coaches like you that are honest with kids. Man, talk about why is it important to you to be honest when you come sit down in a student athlete's home? Why is that to be important? Why is that so important to you?
First of all, I work off experience, man. Just
Mm.
I've been that kid, you know what I'm saying? I've been that kid, you know, that wanted and dreamed. You know, I think the best thing to do is to be honest with the kid.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, I'm in it to develop kids in all
yeah,
facets of life. And
yeah,
also it's important to be honest because at the end of the day, as a coach, if I'm honest and I keep it real, my credit score gonna be up. You know what I'm saying? My credit score gonna be up. And
yeah,
also, it's a circle of life, man. If you just be real and always be real with coaches. If I'm a high school coach, be real with me. I'm gonna take it to heart. You know what I'm saying? Be real
yeah.
with me. Cause I know, for perfect example, you went to Deerfield, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the coach at Deerfield say, hey, he called me right now and say I got one, well, Deerfield don't have 10 to 12 players in the league year in and year out. I'm going to listen because his credit
Yeah,
score good with me. Because last
yeah,
time, and I know he always got dudes, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? It's going to be good with me. And then I think it's the best thing to do is be real with a kid because now you can lead that kid in the right direction. And oftentimes in our industry, we'll hold that kid for ourselves,
yeah,
but you can allow that kid not to flourish. I don't seen a kid miss out on opportunities because he's holding on from another school. The school,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, do whatever they do and get out of it with that kid. The kid has nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see people dreams ruined like that. And I don't think that ain't what we in it for, man. We in it to develop kids. And that's not developing the kid. You being selfish. I don't think you can help. I don't think the game should be played like that, man. Because at the end of the
that,
day, as a coach, I can go get a job tomorrow. You know, that kid got to be, you know what I'm saying? You got to take care of the kid. I think if you be real with a kid, you know, at the end of the day, that kid might come back around. He might have a little brother. You know, this a long career, man. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
No, I appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. Because, and I think, you know what I'm saying, obviously those that are listening appreciating it as well, man. Because I think, you know, that what you're saying, it gives, I believe it should give parents and athletes, student athletes, something to listen for when they're talking to a coach. So if they're not saying the things that you're saying in the sense of like, if you're not honest with me, if you're not like Nick Saban, he going to them 5-star, whatever, you know, he don't tell them a
Yeah,
lot of them start. He like, look, bro, this is what it is. Da, 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 da. But parents, and even though it don't feel good, you respect honesty because now you know I can make a decision. Because if I make a decision and go to your school and it don't work out the way I want to, at least I can say you were honest.
right,
But if I go under the preconceived notion of you said I was gonna start, or you said I was, you know, gonna be playing early and I get in and you got these other dudes and now I'm, you know, now like you said, I gotta get in the transfer portal, I gotta sit out a year. So
right,
now I'm in 6 years, you know, and which could look bad on you because they're like, why he keep hopping around? Why he can't find a situation? You know, so definitely being honest with them up front is gonna help the kid out. But like you said, and I believe, man, you're planting seeds for yourself to
right.
where if you send this kid to, you know, to another school, in a sense, like you saying that this is what we got, you're honest, and you miss out. I believe because you honest, bro, you sowed that seed of honesty that it's gonna be God gonna look out for you and send you
Exactly.
a great recruit because you was honest with them. Somebody else somewhere else around the country was honest with another player, and as a result, they came to your school. So I just think, like you said, just a circle of life. If you do right to some people, even though it's a sacrifice for you, you'll get a return on your investment, man. So definitely, man. Let me go down here and okay, I got one. I say, what about prep school athletes think it'll be the best to play in the spring to get a better opportunity to be seen by more schools? What about that? What you think about that?
I think it'll be a good deal. I just think as a prep school athlete, you got to make sure you get your information to coaches. Because at a
Okay.
prep school, you know you're going to be underfunded. People traditionally not going to prep school to look for kids. But as a prep school player, once you get your film together, because your recruiting process starts over, you got to make sure
Yeah.
you get your film to people. And I think from a standpoint, if you're coming from a prep school, like the best I seen a kid go from prep school to JUCO. Now you talking about you got a 21-year-old JUCO transfer. You know what I'm saying? He get on campus as a because maturity is a lot in this game. It's a grown man game. So the more you mature, you know what I'm saying, before you get to like 27, you just get better, bigger, stronger, faster. So a
Yeah.
lot of times a kid can go to a prep school. He can go to a junior college and and then he can keep developing. So if he going to prep school, I think what he needs to make sure he do is getting his film into the right people's hands and make sure he getting that schoolwork done. You know what I'm saying? Doing what he need to do. That's the main thing for prep school. Just
Definitely.
as you keep playing, your team's finding different games. Once you get done, get your film out to where it need to be. And then if it don't work out for you, have that backup plan already set. Don't go into those prep school situations thinking like, oh, I'm going to prep school, I'm going to go give me a scholarship. All right, well, I might not get a scholarship I want. I always had that backup plan. All right, it didn't work. Now I can go here. I think that's the
Gotcha.
main thing. Because a prep school season, after you serve them 6 months, man, it's over.
So you got it. So basically, you saying if you have to go to a prep school, it's no, hey, I get right my second year. It's I go to that prep school once the season over. It's time to transition. So you got to go in thinking 2 steps ahead. Like I'm gonna be
Right,
here.
right,
Goal is to get a scholarship here. If I don't, then this is my other option, right? So
right.
okay, gotcha. Man, I'm learning a lot, man, just from listening, hear what you're saying, because I only know my experience and from looking on the outside in. So just hearing you recruit different people and how that works, man. Yeah, I got my dog right here. He definitely say I think he went to. Man, I forgot the high school, man. I see it right in it wasn't Williamson. It wasn't I think he might have went to Wilson Central, dog. Punter, man. He didn't get to play this year. His ACL. So he was talking about sending out his info. Somebody out here giving you a shout out with all that speed. Um, let me see. Let me go through here, man. Uh Let me go. Any more questions? All right, so somebody said, I made my own highlight tape and sent all it over the world. Called coaches, everything. Folks were sick of me, but once I caught their eye, they already knew me. So definitely, kind of like you said, like taking the initiative to put your film out, get in front of coaches.
Right, right,
Uh,
right.
yeah, my dog Amos. Yeah, man, we balled out at that Rutgers camp, bro. Let me see, man. Let me see. How would a new high school coach? Oh, got you, bro. So how would a new high school coach build relationships with recruiters? So I'm fresh, like me, like bro. I know you off the muscle because I played with you. You feel me?
Right, right.
And so I could just hit you up. Like, I did send you a player. But I could do that because of us playing together, not because I've been in the coaching game long enough. So this is a question for me. Like, how do we build and I think my dog coach volleyball. So that's why I'm glad that it's just so many different people could learn from what you're saying. How does a new coach, regardless of a sport, new high school coach, how do they build these and cultivate these relationships with college coaches,
I
recruiters?
think the main thing is at the end of the day, first thing is as a college coach, you always want to have a relationship with it. We respect the good teams. First thing first is the win, bro. Win. Everybody think you can finesse your way here and here. It's
Yeah,
people that do. You can do that, but the first thing is to win. If you win, everything take care of itself. Like one thing I respect about the Miami dudes, like them boys, you know what I'm saying? They at the end of the day, they try to win. They try to win
yeah,
games, and they
yeah,
take their kids wherever they need to take them to make sure they get seen. And I think another thing, winning is one thing, and then also like just always trying to do professional development. Go to the clinics. Go
mm,
if a coach talking, go listen to him talk. You know what I'm saying? Don't think you know everything. Always get involved in the professional development spaces. Like me, like bro, I go listen to high school coaches talk. I go listen to a basketball coach talk. I just always try to like always do professional development, and through those different avenues, you'll go, hey, bump into a coach. Hey, coach, what you think about this when you play cover three? And you and that coach will rap real quick, and he'll remember you. Or when or thirdly, especially as a football coach, when them college coaches coming into that school, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You want to be involved in recruiting. And now your head coach might handle all the recruiting. But
yeah,
make sure when y'all go to UT or y'all coming to MTSU to see camps and things of that nature, come to the camp, holler at the coach, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But don't always be on some, hey coach, I got this kid. Just talk to
Got
him, ask a real question. And
you. Yeah,
we gonna respect that, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But at the end of
so,
the day, we gonna respect winners. In
yeah,
this game, you respect winners and respect people that can help you if you got players.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what some coaches go off of. But when you get them professional development opportunities, utilize them, because now I can, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you talking to me, well, you might bump into the next coach. You never know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because one thing about it, this game, you'll be up tomorrow, you be down, you up today, down tomorrow, or you'll be here today, you be the next thing you know, you the head coach of the Denver Broncos. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's
Facts.
all about relationships, man. It's all
Yeah.
about relationships.
Definitely. And I appreciate that, man, because that give me advice, man. I ain't even gonna lie, man. You know, as a I think just as a player, man, and getting into coaching, bro, and getting into it not as early as, so many other people. I
Right,
mean,
right,
30
right.
and getting into my second year of coaching. Like it's people I know. I mean, you younger than me, you've been in it way longer than that, right? And it's people that get into it right away or had an opportunity to get into it. So I'm not. It is unfamiliar. You know what I mean? It is uncomfortable. I went to shout out to my LB Simp. Saying he invited me to the coaching clinic down here. For it was a high school coaching clinic, and then I remember my dog Antonio, who a D coordinator now at a college. He, invited me to the national convention. And when I was out there, I ran into Diaz. That when Diaz was a D coordinator at
Right, right,
Miami.
right, right.
So, like you said, man, it's just the relationship part of it and communicating, but also putting yourself in those uncomfortable situations or those professional development situations where you're always a learner. And then even to your point, you like, man, like you could be like, man, I'm a DB coach at the Division I level. Like, why I'm going to high school basketball? Why am I going to hear a high school basketball coach listen? But that's the humility. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Always being a forever learner. And things that you hear from them, you could apply to yourself. So that was good. I appreciate that, bro. As I grow in this field as well, man. Let me go. Somebody said thanks a lot, Coach Gilstrap. I learned a lot. My dog dropping gems. Okay. My boy, Simp. Okay, so he said, what's your thoughts on 7-on-7 versus handler trainers in relation to high school coach?
I think, man. See, I'm gonna be real, man. It's a new wave of it's a new wave for today's society. Like a lot of people don't want to embrace those guys because they got the best interest of their kid. You know what I'm saying? They got the best interest of their kid, and sometimes some people are in that wave. I mean, in that area because they want to self promote or they want to
Yeah,
promote their self. But I don't have a problem with it, man. Like man, I it's people like that that save these kids' life. It's people like that that's going to pick them kids up every day. You know what I'm saying? It's people like that that's really investing that time into them. I like having a relationship with those guys.
yeah.
I don't have a problem with it at all. Now, there's some people in our profession that don't like it because they don't like the change. They don't
Mm,
like the change. Like it ain't
that's
it ain't
hey,
too it ain't. You
that's
know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Now one thing about me, I'm also gonna be old school. I'm always going to go through the high school coach, but I don't
yeah,
have a problem. I don't have a problem going through a 7-on-7 coach because it might be that 7-on-7 coach or
yeah,
that guy that's taking these kids around when they ninth or 10th graders
yeah,
and saying, "Hey, look at this kid." You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Or I
That's
got the relationship with me. I got relationship with some guys like I got relationship with some 7-on-7 coaches. They be like, "Hey, I got one. Hey, boy, I
yeah,
got one. Oh, for
yeah,
real? Holla at me." When his high school coach called me, I might not even have a good relationship with him.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And he the reason I found out about the kids. So I don't have no problem with it, man. If you helping kids, you know what I'm saying, and you finding a way to get them kids out where I'm from, I ain't got no problem with it. And I know a lot of people in our profession don't like it because they wanna go to the high school coach and be in control. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with a handler. I don't have a problem with anybody helping the kid get recruited. At the end of the day, I'm trying to help the kids.
yeah.
And if they
So
trying to help the kids, they got the utmost respect in my book, especially if they doing it for free.
nah, I hear that, man. And that's a good question, Simp, man. Because I was like, I didn't, like I said, I'm new to this, so just hearing like the different terms, the handler and trainers. But now I definitely, especially more so, you see the one-on-one trainers and everything who may have a greater influence, especially in basketball. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Dudes and stuff like that.
But
So,
the game changing now though.
yeah,
The
yeah,
football is more, but at the end of the day, think about this, JK. you see more kids, especially the position I coach, college ready, knowing how to transition, knowing how to use their eyes,
Yeah, that's
knowing
right.
these things, how they got game now.
Yeah,
Whereas they wouldn't have that game if it weren't for these trainers. Because some of
yeah.
these high school coaches ain't teaching these kids that. You got the
Nah,
guy that just played in the league and go train these kids, and now they
that's right.
already know how to play. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah,
know mentally what to do. Whereas when we was in school, we didn't have all that, man. When you got to college, your college coach wasn't good. You weren't getting developed,
yeah.
and
Nah,
I got respect for it, man.
that's true. That's true. Now, it's definitely something like even Devin McCourty, not Devin McCourty, but Dexter McCluster. I know he training down here. Man, I wish I remembered his name. Man, I know DB coach. I think he out of South Carolina. Man, I want to say his Instagram is like OBJ3, something like that. Man, but he's doing a phenomenal job down there. I believe in South Carolina, man, training. My boy Ryan Clark, man, he be killing the game out there in AZ. Be on ESPN and all that, man. So definitely, that's a good point, man. Building those relationships like that. I don't know if you see that, but my boy Ivan, one of my funniest teammates we ever had, bro, Ivan. Um, and you don't gotta answer this on here, man, but definitely shouting out the dude, Carlos, man. He's a punter, so he was just asking as far as does MT need a punter. So you know what I'm saying, I'll let you do that off
Yeah, yeah.
off the out of respect for what you got going, man. Somebody said, who is your best player that I'm gonna just say,
That I
who do
ever
you
coach?
yeah, and you don't got to, bro.
No,
Coaches,
I answer the question. I answer the question.
okay, all right,
Right now, player I ever coached, best player
yeah,
I ever coached was a kid. Well, actually, was my first job, man.
yeah,
The kid when I say complete, not talent, I'm talking about complete football player. You know,
yeah,
was a kid. I had a corner kid. Never played corner before. He played running back. Um, and I went there, and nobody wanted the kid. The kid was an all conference running back, but it was like, man, the kid got a bad attitude. And at the
yeah,
end of the day, you know what the kid really wanted? He just wanted to play.
yeah,
He didn't want the ball fight. Coach, I just want to play. I just want an opportunity. And I got that kid, man. Me and that kid grinded the whole spring. We
yeah,
grinded the whole summer. The kid ended up being a third team All American, getting a shot in Canada. He was a small. He was like 5'6", 5'6.5", 5'7". Ended up running like 4'4". But that's the best player, complete player I ever coached.
okay. That was up. See,
Now
I
the
just
best. Now I'm gonna say the best talent I ever coached.
yeah,
I got some guys now. These
yeah,
group of kids I got now. I got a group of kids now. They're talented,
yeah,
but they're oddly talented where they got to keep getting developed. And then I had a freshman at FAMU who can still be really special named Herman Jackson. That he was just a football player. He could play all five positions: nickel, safety, and corner. You know, he
yeah.
started from me as a freshman. But I got some kids now who can be special. I'm gonna say
Now,
that they can be really
bro,
special.
hey, number 4, the dude Quincy, man. When I was calling the game, bro, and I'm like, he made like
Yeah.
two in a row, then he came back, and I
And you know the crazy thing is though, he was
was
in
it
the pick he had on the sideline. We was in 2 man, and you know
okay,
I came back to meeting the next day because he got hurt that game. I was like, hey man, what was you doing, man? He said, Coach, well, you gave me that split all week, and we watched it in film. You know, I knew that was coming. Like I knew if he came, if number one gave me a mandatory outside release, I knew the out route was coming.
yeah,
Like that.
got
That's when I'm like, that give me chills as a coach. Like, oh yeah,
yeah.
you listening. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that kid can be special. Jalen Jackson can be special. Davon Moore can be special. I got Raheem Fuller. I got a group of kids right now. They all can be special. I just want them to keep working. You
Yeah.
know, I had a young group last year, and I'm growing. And the crazy thing is, it's like I'm growing with them. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
I'm
that's
growing
real.
with them kids, and I think they making me better as a man off the field more than anything that they don't even know. Like them growing, they make me a better man. Like they make me want to live right. I think that's what they don't understand what they do for me.
Iron sharpening iron though, man.
Yeah,
So and y'all doing your thing. And when you told me that everybody come back,
yeah, the whole
y'all
team
are
come back.
legit at the safety position, man, with Black Reed and my boy Greg. Shout out to them, man. I be like, dog, MTSU is really safety you, cut. When I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
about
yeah,
when I think about the safeties that then came through there, bro,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying, when I think about Damon, then you know what I'm saying, my dog KB, Kevin Brown, and then you know what I'm saying, Kevin Byard, we already know.
Yeah.
Best to ever do it there. And saying you got Reed
Juwan
and
Harley should have never left. People don't understand. Juwan Harley left after 1 year.
bruh, Jawan, like that safety position is
Yeah.
crazy, bro. So when I be typing up like comment, I'm like DBU. I mean, I like safety U. This is MT is safety U, bro. I really, really believe that, bro. I'm a little biased, you feel me?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
but uh but but I really do believe that, man. But let me see if I got anybody else, man. And I'm gonna let you out, man. I know I'm taking up your Thursday.
Nah, bro, we can keep going. I'm enjoying this. I'm
All
good.
right,
You know
man.
what I'm saying?
Same
I'm good.
same here, man. Same here. So let me see. What would you do to help him get where he wants to be? Okay, you pretty much answered that, man. As far as just a high school coach, if you have a dude, if you're a high school coach, you have a dude.
Hey, that's
But
my old player right there, man. I coached that.
oh,
I
okay,
coached.
then
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Go ahead and
I
answer
coached
them.
him at. I coached him at Fam. That's my boy. He coached high school football in Atlanta now. I'm proud of him.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
boy.
So go ahead. What advice you got for him?
Oh nah, man. I was giving him a shout. I already answered the question
Oh,
though. I was giving him a little
okay,
shout out.
okay.
My boy Orlando.
Yeah, Pat say records all day. You already know, Pat. I hear you, man. Your alma mater. Let me see, man. Somebody. Oh, my boy Pat, man. He worked for the